Hello, what's up? This is Kay the Travel Boss and I come your way again. This is part 3 of your visa application to New Zealand. So as I promised, I'll be talking about the particular document needed. And this document, being so good, it's not only going to help you acquire or attain a New Zealand visa, any other country's visa, you may need this document. So you will need this document because I'm going to talk about key documents that you will need that people would actually tell you at a fee in the name of consultation. Let's do this. Okay, so first, when you are traveling to any country at all, even when you're traveling from state to state, one city to one city in your own country, what do you need to consider? Do I have my fare? Can I book a taxi? Can I book a cab? Do I have my fare? Do I have like what I'm going with? So this has nothing to do with your luggages and what you are going to pack. And some people come to me asking, what are we supposed to pick? What are we supposed not to pick? I mean, like, it's like that. First, you need to prove that you are financially stable enough. You are financially good to travel because they will be looking at that. How do you prove this? You will need to upload a bank statement. Yes, a bank statement. You should have, I mean, quite some money, like something that, if something happens, you can take care of yourself, you could feed yourself, you don't need the government to, like take care of you and all that. Yes. So you will need money, one, which is proof of financial stability. You will need proof of ties. I mean, if you have a business here, that is, if you are saying you are going for a visit and you are coming back, then your aim is not to go stay there because you have nobody there. Increasing their homeless, people on the streets, like the rates of homeless in their country. So then you should prove your financial stability. You should prove that you have proof of ties here. That is, if you're married, if you have kids you are taking care of, if you have a car, you have a house, things that you cannot live without, things that you cannot just leave here and go, like you have a land and all that, it should come in your name. Also, you should prove that you are medically sound. So a medical report will be a plus here. If you can prove that you have good records, like no criminal reports, like no criminal records, it is great. I mean, it is good because not in the way would you like to run to someone's country because you are running from, something vicious. Okay, so you should prove your financial stability. You should prove you have proof of ties. That is, if you have any properties and all that document in your name, a car, you need to prove that you have something you're coming back to. You need to prove that you have people depending on you. Okay, people depending on you where you are taking care of them. So, I mean, you cannot leave them alone just like that. You have to also do this. One of the most important, aside the financial, you have to prove that you are employed. That's proof of employment. So if you have your offer letter, you have your contract and all that. If you are living in a rented apartment, do not forget to scan. I'm telling you, all these documents will be scanned, okay? Do not forget to add your tenancy agreement. Very, very important. This video is going to be really short because I'm only going to list the documents that you will be using. So, sorry about that. You will be using your tenancy agreement. If you have a house, you need to prove that, I mean, property ownership, then your property ownership, sorry, you need to prove that you own the property. You need to prove that you have people here you are taking care of. You need to prove your financial stability. So basically these four things I'm mentioning. If you're also going to someone who is inviting you, then you need a letter of invitation, an invite from the person. The person also needs to prove that they can accommodate you, hence like their financial stability and their proof of accommodation. They should also add probably a taxation showing they are paying tax, showing they are living in the country legally. They should also give documentation like an ID card, a bio page of a passport that shows that they're actually citizens in that country legally and they can accommodate you. Like they should have more than one bedroom, two bedroom. Differences when you are visiting you, I mean your spouse and all that. I mean you get to share a room with your spouse, so that is no issue at all. But if you are visiting, then also if you're just going for education, then you need to prove with your offer letter. Various schools online you can apply. I'll be doing that in another video. That depending on the reactions that this video receive, I'll be doing if you want to apply for school, how to go about it and all that. So you should be able to, if you are saying you are a tourist, you are just going there to have fun and all that, then you should book a hotel. Okay, you should be ready to book a hotel. Also, one thing they will tell you on the website, which I advise you not to do, is do not try to impress them with a flight ticket. Do not say, I've already purchased my flight ticket. Sorry, that's a 0-0. That's a no on that, please. If you end up purchasing a flight ticket and it comes that one of your documents are like not good enough, like you could not prove your financial stability enough and all that, you will be refused. And when you are, your flight ticket is just a waste. Okay, unless you, I mean, you have this kind of flight ticket where you can actually get the money back, like ask for a refund. Good, but without that, then your flight is waste. It's gone. So please do not book flight. Yet if you want to book a hotel, there are hotels where you need to pay some percentages, where if you don't come, they can actually refund the money. Also, if you are going for education purposes, your offer letter, that is your letter proving that you have gotten admission, which is your admission letter. Yes, sorry. The admission letter will be very important, because then they will have to look at this. They will contact the school. So do not fake documents. If there's one thing I've learned traveling all these years, is do not fake a document, because when they get you, then you will be banned. Okay. I've had cases where people forge documents to UK and they are banned for 10 years. And one of these documents that can, you might not even think of is saying, oh, I have never been denied visa. Okay, let me tell you this. If you're applying for a New Zealand visa and you've been denied US visa, it does not count. Okay, like they are asking you if you have been denied visa in their country, not in another country. So it's okay. If you have been denied in US, unless you're applying for a US visa, do not lie. If you have been denied in UK, if you're applying for a UK visa, do not lie. Okay, say yes, I've been denied. Because then it is read some of the denial letters, they say your future applications may be refused unless your circumstances change, on the grounds on which you are applying change. Okay, so do not lie. That fingerprinting they did, that passport they took from you, sweetie, chief, it has every information about you. So do not lie. Say the truth. Okay, you are not the first person who is being denied visa. Also, refusal is not denial. You should understand that. Okay, refusal is not denial. The fact that you've been refused visa does not mean it's going to continue, like you are going to be refused more times. When your situation change, you are good to go. So like what I said, your proof of finance here, that if you are going for like a tourist, like you are going as a tourist, going to look in like the town and all that, just going around looking at nice places, visiting good places, then yes, proof of finance is very important. Proof of accommodation is very important. If you have tourist sites that you have tickets of, that you've booked, you'll be visiting, I mean, it's okay, you can add that to it. It's good, I mean, it's great also. But your proof of ties and proof of financial stability, that do not joke with it. Do not joke with it. This is what you show. Okay, this is what you show, that when you get there, you can return. Not the way will you like to come to you. Let's put it in our daily lives. Not the way will you like to come to me and I don't know, I'm going to sponsor you, okay? But you come. And then when you come here and I don't have no money, and then you are about to go, but you have no money to go, now you are stuck on me and I cannot pay for you going back and all that, but I have to be struggling to take care of you and all that. No country wants that. So, yes, you will be denied visa if your financial stability is not, it's not strong. If you do not have money to go. So, we're not talking about all that much of like big money and all that. Like, you see, but New Zealand visa application saves you lots of time, lots of money. Why? Because depends on your country. Okay, it is not like so expensive. Yes, as we are talking about a document, this is the most important thing I would like to chip in before the video ends. Okay, so when you are from Ghana, okay, when I don't know about other countries, but you should ask. When you are from Ghana, please, I have tried this. There's no visa consulate for New Zealand in Ghana. That's one thing I know. Okay, I have tried, like I've had sleepless nights because of this. I haven't. I've tried. I found one who is living in New Zealand. Okay, so his number is on the website, but he's living in New Zealand, and he says, "Oh no, like I called him, but it did not work out." You know, like so. This is what happened. I found a way. Okay, if you go to VFS in Accra, it's not going to work for you. Please do not go to VFS. That is not the nearest visa application center, VAC, for New Zealand. No, do not go to VFS Accra. No, at the airport area, no, no VFS in Ghana. What you do is that, and I've tried that. Trust me, it did not work out for me. So, um, your nearest VAC for New Zealand visa for your submission point, okay, after the visa, after you fill the form and all that, and then you book an appointment and all that, it's in Pretoria, South Africa. Pretoria, South Africa. Yay! No, for some people. Okay, good. So, Pretoria, South Africa. But I tell you this, if you are in Ghana, DHL is your good choice. Clap for DHL. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, DHL will take your documents at a very minimum rate, okay? Send it to Pretoria, deliver it to them, have them process it. When they are done, you'll be paying for the return of your passport. So, your passport going there, DHL will be taking it. It will take a matter of just 2 days for your passport to get there. They will finish the visa process in 3 weeks to a month. 3 weeks to a month. Trust me, it will come before that. 3 weeks to a month after submission. When the VAC in Pretoria receives your documents, okay, 3 weeks to a month. Now, after that, they will be communicating with you, to which you can call them and even know how far with your visa application. Once it is approved, you receive a mail confirming your approval. That is, you can even go to the website, the New Zealand website. In our previous video, I mean, how to access it I already showed in our previous part 2 of the video. So you will go to that website and you will see an approved there or issued there, okay, for that site, for other countries. So approved there. Then they will send your passport back to your DHL. Yay, congratulations. I hope you will get your visa. Good. So then you can go for your passport. Once you go for your passport, preparation starts. Okay. You will have no problem with the immigration once you are cleared and then you are to go through. You will love it. Okay, one thing I found out though is a lengthy flight, but it is worth it. It is worth it. Very worth it. When you go there are various ways you can, try to apply. Sorry, there are various ways you can try to apply for your visa. Okay, either you get employment or like you love the place and you want to extend your stay. There are various ways there. You can go to any consulate around and then look for more information on how to do it. With that said, that'll bring us to the end of applying for a visa to New Zealand. I wish you all the best. Should you have any question, my comment section is always open. Please do ask questions when you want to travel. It makes things a lot easier. Once again, I'm Kay, the travel boss, and I'll come your way again every Friday. Ciao.